I just realized I did an hour and a half of material and it wasn't even recording. That is such a bummer. So I'm gonna have to condense everything really quickly, which kind of sucks. But hopefully you can bear with me because I'm gonna speak really fast. All right, Renaissance. History, present. Obviously, we got to break down the fact of the matter that the Dark Ages were ended because we were free from the type of, in a sense, at that time it was cabal control. But ultimately, what happened is you had a lot of Da Vinci's and a lot of Renaissance men that went out there and did the great things. And even though they were thought they were crazy, like the building of these wonderful, amazing machines that actually probably work and actually are very efficient, these great ideas, these great minds that were obviously thinking out of the box were the kind of great inventions and inventors that made the stuff that happened at the time. How do you, and the Renaissance at this present, of course, is the supporting of ideas that actually allow for the advocacy for human evolution to grow. And how do you do that? With advanced technology, free energy, space stations, galactic federation members. These are just ideas and dot connecting the Renaissance with what I just mentioned, tools with our minds, with our bodies, and with communication, telepathy and telekinesis, which we're developing. What is the result? The result is we have evidence. We have Renaissance. We have living proof as actual human beings that we are great, and then we can extend and live in this world and age of prosperity for years and thousands of years and hundreds of thousands of years and forever. All right. So of course, wonderful quote is eternal hostility against any form of tyranny against the mind of man. This is a paraphrased quote from Thomas Jefferson. It's a very, 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 very great quote, and it's very important because, of course, I'm against tyranny. There's a lot of beings that are against tyranny. And we're going to describe some of them, some of the key points that were admitted, for example, by the fake stream media, and revealed by the true stream media, the actual media, by the alternative media, which is actually the real media, independent media. About the spying, lying, and the illegal actions of the criminals that do illegal tapping and wiretapping, and that's been revealed and known, and then they lie about it, and then it's a weird kind of cycle. But anyway, we basically just advocate for the vindication of those sources that continually try and spin, oh, maybe there's no spying, oh, maybe there's spying, okay, well, it's old tactics that don't work, of that whole surveillance thing. CIA also goes into that a little bit. I'm going to, once again, fly through this really quickly. Technology. There's the types of technology that, of course, advocate for the Renaissance is not only that which can be reverse engineered in a more positive light, which is what the CIA has done in a negative light in the past. I say past because I like to move forward. So what all this stuff is used, against and to enslave, and not necessarily enslave, but yeah, enslave and sell off metadata and control the masses, and it's not really used, and it's used against Senate, which it shouldn't be. Senate should be spied on, and it's used against the Congress, House of Representatives, which should not be spied on. Our government should not be spied on. All right. Free energy technology, obviously, I advocated for that for a very long time, and I continue to advocate for that, and I continue to support it. Free energy devices, of course, there's way more efficient ways to run your house, run your appliances, and one of those is PPX, but I'm actually talking about zero point energy. Over the Unity products that don't, they say, oh, there has to be this amount of heat given off instead of energy, a lot of it's energy. No, all of it can be converted into energy, actually, pure energy. And it could be limitless, tapping into the ether, and also the creation of massless objects, or using massless objects, and the true electromagnetic gravitic applications to technology to accelerate how we use, produce, create, and manufacture our transportation, structural architecture, and education, and all sorts of appliances, all that kind of stuff. And I mean that in a positive light, of course, with the understanding of true liberty and the truth. And I'm going to explain that a little bit. I'm obviously on the side of we the people and not out to get you. Spaceport. You can build spaceports. There's obviously been spaceports before, actual spaceports with and that's an important thing that we can make. I've already talked about it before. Agartha, Shambhala. There's spaceports there, and it's also important that it's a great idea. We could do something like that to come together, develop once we kick out all these criminals and corrupt politicians and all that stuff, we can actually start supporting freedom and liberty, and we can do a worldwide united initiative to build a spaceport. Instead of having a space race, this country versus that country, or this ideology versus that ideology, we unite as a planet and build a great spaceport, and then we launch into space as a peaceful, universal, peaceful planet. Ain't that something? That would be wonderful. Galactic Federation members, I should read just a little bit about them. During my time, apparently I was just speaking to thin air, but anyway, I was describing some of the beings that are alive. Andromedans. These Andromedans they were accepted into the Galactic Federation approximately 3.5 million years ago. They're from the constellation of Andromeda, about 150 to over 4,000 light years away. And they're humanoid in appearance. They usually wear traditional multicolored Galactic Federation jumpsuits. There's Nordics, and then there's the Mediterranean types, Caucasian types. Also, there's Bellatricians. They are about 112.5 light years away from Earth. The major species is a dino-riptoid hybrid migrated from constellation of Sagittarius about 25 million years ago. Accepted into the Galactic Federation about 3 years ago. I'm not exactly sure the date, I'll check later, but you can find this if you just know how to research and do that type of discernment stuff. I'm just going to read it for you. Some of their special traits and abilities. They're noted for great diplomatic and leadership skills, and charged for the past 6 million years of all the former alliances forces for the sector of the Milky Way galaxy. The Mintakans are 233 light years from Earth. They're one of the 3 bright stars in the famed belt of Orion. The other 2 are, I'm going to try and pronounce this, Al-Nitak and Al-Nilan. Accepted about 3 years ago. Or accepted into the Galactic Federation 3 years ago. They resemble frogs and toads of Earth. Major differences is they're mainly bipedal. They're hairless, smooth, and iridescent colored from bright reds, oranges, and greens to yellows and browns. They're noted for their great proficiency in psychology, and as well as all methods of mind manipulation. They have a great body of scientific knowledge and vast libraries of inner knowledge that go back over 15 million years. I'm going to do one more galactic member, Arcturians, horse-like sentient beings, accepted into the Galactic Federation about 3.75 million years ago. They're known for, their ships range from diving bell-shaped scout ships that vary from about 40 to 75 feet and to a lens-shaped planetary command mothership that is over 14 miles in length. Let's just go back to the description of the ships. They're motherships of the Mentakans, yeah. Almost mushroom-like in appearance, resemble a large spaceship at the end of the movie. Close Encounters vary in size from 50 feet to 150 feet in diameter. Motherships are very large, almost 100 miles to 1,000 miles across. Larger ones are very self-sufficient and are usually kept only in deep space. So you understand that we understand now that we have the ability, or we know that there's knowledge to create these type of technologies. We can use our imagination to build them, and then build the very foundations of the galactic society that allows us to build spaceports to go into space. That is what you call a free market, and that's what you call independent thinking that accelerates the humanity and actually creates change on planet Earth. With thinking independently and doing things that actually promote freedom and prosperity by thinking outside the box and not into the enslavement that the negative parts of Democrats and CIA and NSA so hardly think of. I really don't mean to be so negative Nancy about all that stuff. I'm trying to move on, but it's important that I reiterate. And also, to be honest, a little bummed I have to condense everything that was in an hour and a half long broadcast. I have to repeat it all again. But that's okay. It's a win-win, because I get to learn how to speak well myself and also provide more discernment. Anyway, it's important to know true liberty versus what the crazy left does, like the far, far left, which is not progressivism, it's the opposite. And true patriotism, it's important that we know those things. I say those things, and now I tell the truth, and you can't really deny it, and in a sense, you can't really say you didn't know. So this is now known March 23rd, 2017. I revealed the truth to you. So William Benny is also a huge part. Excellent, amazing interview that they had today at Infowars.com. Very, very great interview between Alex Jones and William Benny. Very, very clear exactly how much the truth will set you free. They were breaking down. William Benny is the former CIA director. Very, very smart, very informative, has the experience. He broke it down very well. A lot of the things I would say, if you're informed and an independent thinker, you would know what he's talking about. You know a lot of things what he's already talking about, especially if you're a listener. Have Infowars.com, but it's very, very obvious how well he stated that there is a need to have discernment, clarity, leadership. Those are something I just coined. RDCL, put them together. Discernment, clarity, leadership is what allows you to, in a sense, progress freedom and human evolution. Now we got Newsmax.com, FreedomWatchUSA.org, very important news, very important websites to check out. Clayman, very, very huge part in the animating contest of liberty, and he mentions the NSA, talks about it, breaks it down, all that kind of stuff. Very, very good things he did. Montgomery is important that he goes straight to has an interview in the White House, and they just put him in the White House and contact him and have an interview. He's also a very important part of the animating contest of liberty, and I want to reiterate that. Now, it's important that we put lawless or low-class, so-called above-the-law major criminals that are very corrupt. Clapper has been called a certified liar. John Brennan is not a good person. And we need to put hold these super bad people that are in the previous administration, also just criminals in general. They need to be accountable and need to be investigated, including Obama. So they need to be indicted, convicted, and imprisoned. They need to be indicted, convicted, and put in prison. Clayman, once again, I'm going to reiterate his name. Very important stuff that he did. All the guests on Infowars.com are incredible. His links are very key. I definitely want to spread them, and I'm spreading them. And I definitely suggest that you spread them. Because you support liberty, support the Infowar. Hero strength is measured by his heart, like an important quote. It's important that we know that. And it's important that, we're aware that, in a sense, why are the cameras being pointed at, we the people? This is a very good phrase that was stated. We're not doing anything wrong. We're not criminals. Most Americans aren't criminals, So there isn't a reason to be surveilled like 1984. We should be freer than that. And we do not sacrifice freedom for security. That's a silly thing to do. And we do not advocate for that. And it's important that what we just have is just, we have sheeple who aren't necessarily awake yet, but and we have independent thinkers that are aware of a responsibility that we have to awaken the sheep, and that's what we do. We just do it all the time, and we do it well. And it's accelerating, it's happening really fast, and it's a good thing. And it's also about surveillance state, the negative parts of it. It's kind of like this three thing. Independent thinkers, we got the sheep, and then we got the surveillance state. Ultimately, freedom, liberty, animating contest of liberty always wins, and the prosperity is endless, and it's going to happen very, very well. Democrats just need to reiterate the importance. It's just kind of silly. No matter what happens, the American people are going to win. I'm so sick of this. Never mind. I'm not gonna go into that. What I mean to say is I'm really positive. I'm really happy, and I'm really excited about the fact that pretty much rejuvenation of the country, even in a cellular level, in the human beings, it's happening in America. So that's very, very good. Also important that we protect property rights. Also want to go into briefly about human evolution. Human evolution is important not only to detoxify your mind and your heart and your gut, your three brains, but to have them being trained, and that's how you train your body to develop more higher spiritual abilities, which actually is just, in a sense, a freeing of the mind and the reminding of that which we are. For example, I gave this example the last episode, which wasn't recorded, but now it's being recorded. And I'm breaking it down really simply, really quickly. Plants, trees, very, very wonderful, majestic being that was made by the Creator. It's a file system. You tap into that file system and download it into your cells, in a sense, into your storage drive per se, into our storage space inside of us, and it's huge. It's we still have a lot of storage space, so we can touch trees and communicate with them and really been warm with them. See, we call trees names. We call it a tree. That's a ficus, or that's a coniferous, or that's a pine tree, or that's a. And they're more than that, And then same thing with insects. We call it, that's a mosquito. That's a fly, and that's like a centipede, and that's a caterpillar. That's a butterfly. The type of names we give it, in a sense, restricts what it really is and how important it is in the creation of life. Maybe I'm also just describing how free we can actually be, and that's what the importance is. Our communication and our oneness with nature and all things, all moving, vibrating things, because everything vibrates. Human evolution is about increasing that higher vibrational capacity, and we're going to vibrate so fast that we'll become crystalline, and we will be diamond, and we can live into fourth density, and that's what human evolution is about. And you can try and deny it, but that's really how evolution is being. That's what the Andromeda Council is trying to do. It's trying to allow us to become crystalline beings. Help that evolutionary process, because we'll be able to tap into telepathy, telekinesis, and that's what human evolution is about: telekinesis and transportation and vibration increation and levitation, flying, and all that stuff. It's really, really good. It's very, very good stuff. Very good news. Telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation. These are very, very amazing abilities, and it's really just a remembering process, actually. So we're in very good hands. And I want to start making that the norm. We start talking a lot less about corruption, and a lot more about what connects human beings to be a peaceful, co-creative species. What creates human beings, what makes them peaceful, what makes us special, what makes us strengthen us as our families, and what, brings us together and all that stuff. Because we can enter unity throughout the entire inner earth, outer earth, and hollow earth, and we can enter the rest of the universe into universal peace as a peaceful planet. So that's very, very good. It's important that we detoxify. I mentioned that before, so I'm not going to go into that too much. Great products from InfoWarsLife.com. I take a lot of them, almost all of them, at some point or another. I have DNA Force, Life Force, DNA Force, Liver Shield, Deep Cleanse. I have Brain Force, Vitamin Mineral Fusion. I also take BioPCA, very good for your skin. Oxy Powder, very, very good for you. Secret 12, Brain Force, AcuPower. I take Super Male Vitality as well. I really, 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 really like it. Vitamin Mineral Fusion is one of my favorites. Definitely take X2. That's very good for your health. Very good for detoxification. I really love the immune support. Blend coffee. I've always loved that. I had it once and I love it. It's so delicious. I have that twice a day. It's very good for you. Hot water also. I really, really like the BioTrue Selenium and MycoZX. It's very, very good products. And I'm a huge fan of freedom, supporting the InfoWars, supporting freedom ultimately and liberty. That's what it is all about. It's in a sense, it's awakening people so that they can evolve the entire planet. It's a win-win-win-win. I mean, come on. I mean, the criminals get put in jail, prosperity gets returned back to the people, power gets returned back to the people, and you can't lose, alright? We end famine, we end poverty, we end enslavement, we end tyranny, we end it all. And we advocate for the progression of all that is. And literally, God is on our side. But even God does not get in the way of our free will, alright? Free will is what allows us to be so sovereign, and which allows us to be so great, which allows us the importance of protecting our U.S. Constitution, and to not have it be subverted. So that's the wonderful thing that we have. You know, we can put out these technologies, we can create spaceports, we can create peaceful environments, we can create peace on Earth. We can easily create peace on Earth, and then we can, commune and be ambassadors to other diplomatic planets and really go to the stars. And it's such a win-win. It's so great. This Renaissance is just a taste of the amount of excellence we're going to be inherited into. So I'm excited, I'm passionate, and I'm focused. I'm dedicated. And I'm very, very proud to be one of the leading people in animating contests of liberty. I really am just going to start I'm already pretty fearless. I'm just going to be even more fearless. So it's important that we talk about human evolution, that we talk about these human evolution ability traits, that we do more type of healing stuff, and that we have these healing technologies, and that we advocate for healing, and that we are, aware of the oneness and co-creative abilities, the God inside of us all. And I love you all. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. God bless America, and God bless planet Earth.